Here we go. Welcome, everyone. Higher State Solutions. And we're talking about the science of becoming yourself. So, how can you become yourself, right? Do you even want to become yourself? This is the first question that we should ask. And my internet right now is a little bit wonky. Roger, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. No, I can hear you fine. And
Okay,
you
perfect,
asked.
because your picture is frozen.
Oh, really?
There we go.
Uh,
Yeah, your
you
voice is clean though.
yeah. You asked the first question. Why would you want to become yourself? Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we all think about. And I always
Yeah.
tell folks that every difficulty that you experience in your life is because you haven't become yourself yet. And I know this firsthand. That's why I'm talking about it. And the reason
Mhm.
that line came to me yesterday, speaking of the presentation we're going to do on the 23rd, and I want people to understand it, and it's called the workshop that will change your life, discover your soul mission, because we all have one. But I'm going to talk about these interesting things came up, and I want people to understand we are always evolving in our lives, individually and collectively as the world. That's how the world kind of changes. And so this interesting story, and when I moved to California in 1982, I had a job. I just needed any kind of job, and I was doing sales. And part of our what we had to do was to read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I'm
Mhm.
thinking, why do I need to read this? I just need to make some money. I just need to earn some money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I didn't think anything of it. And I said, okay, great. I had to do it. So I read the book. I'm not a salesperson. I didn't understand why I was doing this. But anyway, um, the principles that came through, even though I wasn't paying attention, they obviously did something and they settled in me because I was trying to manifest a car also. And something I picked up there obviously caused that to happen because a few years later, then I had the car. But then it got more interesting. And this is why I came up with I'm talking about the science of becoming yourself, because there is a science for every single person, because we only do that in our consciousness and we figure that out over time. And so one day I was make another career change, and I was someone gave me a book called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. And anybody can find this book. It's everywhere. It's been out there forever. You can find an audio book and all of that. I had the audio book. I read that. I listened to it over and over and over again. It was so bizarre because every time I would listen, there was something new, something, well, I didn't hear that before. It didn't make that much sense. That's how our consciousness develops as well. And so then we think things are happening accidentally. Then I moved into this wonderful home. And in front of my home was it was an apartment building I was living in, but this huge view over this park. And I go downstairs after I'd moved in to see what the park was. And it was Wallace D. Wattles Park. And I'm going, really? How,
Mhm.
how is that happening?
Yeah.
And then if you listen to his book, if you listen to the principles that he took, because this came, just like Napoleon Hill, they didn't make stuff up. They took information that they gathered from others who had experience, who had wisdom, and then they incorporated it into their lives, and then they put it together in something that they could give back to others. And that's what those books have done for so many others. And I'm going to do the same thing. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what this presentation is going to be. Because when people become who they're meant to become, wow, do they have this incredible life? Do they have everything that they want? Did they clear up all the problems? Do they finally feel confident? All of those things come about, and that's the journey. And there is a science to doing it.
Yeah, there definitely is. Like, there is no coincidence. There's no, which word did you choose? The accident, right?
Right.
Like,
We think
nothing is
things are accidental.
accidental.
Yeah,
It's like
and they're not.
also an accident is somehow divinely orchestrated from many different angles. You can see it, as I've seen it in my life as well, with the accident that I had getting hit by a car. And yeah, I saw the pattern. I saw that I knew that I put myself there, and for me that wasn't accidental that I had the accident. And yeah, but this is beautiful. I mean, I can't even pronounce his name, the man of the book, and the name of the park. Like that, the name is a very special name. I'm kind of amusing myself about it. It's a
It's
great,
it's it's
it's a great vibration that comes with. Definitely, yeah.
and
Cool.
and I
So yeah, please.
and
Hmm.
I thought when I read that book, I thought, okay, I've made it now. I understand and I can do all this. That wasn't the
Yeah.
case. Now I got rich later in years later, but I was going in the wrong direction. See, and this is why I talk about your soul mission, because when you
Yeah.
connect to that, everything changes. I wasn't willing to
Everything.
do that at first.
Hmm.
And so I had a lot of other difficulties.
Yeah.
However, his principles did prove true because of years later, 10 years later, I think about that. Then I had this new business and I'm like, oh, that's where the money came from. That's where the getting rich started to make sense. But now we're at a time in our world where more people are questioning who they or are having difficulty becoming themselves or owning their authenticity, whatever it might be.
Hmm.
But but there is a way, and when they move through the blockages, the mental restrictions, and all of that, and embrace that aspect, that not only will they have great lives, but they will make a greater contribution to our world. Because I believe that every single person is born to make a contribution when they connect to their authenticity, who they're meant to become.
Exactly. Exactly. And like, I mean, you say there are many ways, right? And one way is your last development program, or there's one other way, like the 4 weeks to your best life as an entry for people to see what is actually possible within
Yes.
themselves, right? Because if you have something that is proven, if something really brings you where you want to, helps you being where you want to be, then like there are many ways, as you say, but those two ways, right? Like you have developed great programs that I am a part of with as well. And like people have the chance to really learn about themselves, right? We have a great community, we share experiences, and people really have the ability to connect with each other and see that they are not alone, right? That they don't have to
Mhm.
go, that you don't have to go alone through what you're going through, right? Many people start questioning life, especially with COVID. We had time to contemplate, time to sit with ourselves. And yeah, it's just a great time. And I'm looking forward to share in the workshop also what people can expect even more closely.
The when I give people, and this is what we're going to do in this workshop, this presentation, whatever we're calling it. However, things can be theories. We can have concepts about certain things
Hmm.
that we hear them all the time. People, every kind of coach, mentor, all of that can give you some
Hmm.
idea, but how do you know they work? How do you know that they will produce results in your life, tangible results that you can feel in your life? And that's the information that I'm going to give everyone, because I want them to have it, because I have the results. I've those tangible results of moving through every kind of challenge to come to this, being able to put together this information. And
Hmm.
then, and also, which is going to be so wonderful, we're going to explain you and everything else that came about, because there are no accidents. And this is a
No.
time where our world is moving into a new place. And so becoming who you're meant to become is what helps that happen in a much better, brighter way. However, but it also means that the individual will have this incredible life if they decide that they are worth something, that their life matters, that they were born for some reason or purpose. And I have never discovered anyone who wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and we have all a purpose, right? This is something that I haven't asked the people today because the people that I met, I've asked them some questions about life as an example, who they think what they think they're here, right?
Mhm.
And they definitely struggled with giving the answers of this question. I know that the listeners here eventually do too, struggle to answer the question, yeah, why are you here? So I've questioned myself this question my entire life, and this is why I'm talking the way I talk today, and I'm still working on it to discover and to remember even more of who I am, right? Because this allows me to give an even more deep and clear answer about why I'm here, though
Mhm.
I already grasped at least a glimpse of it, and this is why I decide to contribute with my gifts, with my talents to humanity and to help humanity heal on all levels. And yet to really help them tap into their soul, right? Soul consciousness
Mhm.
and yeah, owning their uniqueness in a way that is just uplifting and inspiring so they can live their best lives as we all wish to have it, right?
And there's another interesting concept that I will give everyone because we don't think about it because it's too uncomfortable. We don't like to think about it. But the fact is, we live for a limited amount of time. We are on this earth in this physical body and we're supposed to have a good time. Yes, exactly. It's that quick.
Mm-hmm.
And when we are
Yes.
not allowing ourselves to embrace our unique journey, all with all of its bumps and grinds, everything, every imaginal experience that we might have had, that we might have moved through, there was value and wisdom in there that we can extract to live this really great life and become ourselves, becoming who we, that life path that each individual is meant to live, that would bring them joy, happiness, and success. That's all. And so and it's fun when you can give that back to others, when you can help others to understand that. And again, especially during this time of transition, we've had different transitional periods in the world, in our civilization, and this is one of them. And like I always say, it's the best time to work on you, to own who you are, love yourself, and bring your gifts, because those gifts could be a magical career for you. And I've seen that occur over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. That's it, because you do perceive the world as no one else sees it, and you do see something that is missing in a way that you can help people activating
Hmm.
that they miss even within themselves or within the world, however. So if you find a need and you can fill that, right, people will yeah, people want you because you can help with fulfilling or with filling that need that is there. Many humans, they're really looking to receive help, and I am one of them, right? I do have also needs, and I think becoming yourself is one of the greatest things that you can do. And it's like, why not everyone is doing that
Hmm.
is yeah, is caused by basically trying to belong, right? They want to, they do think that they actually don't want just to belong to a certain group of people to be part of the system, but they lack the joy. And becoming yourself is actually very joyful, although you start spending more time with yourself alone because you have to contemplate about why you feel the way you feel or why you do the things you do, right? And how you can do more of the things that actually light you up and fill you with joy. Because when you fill with joy, you create purposefully, right? Your intentions are different than if you act out of lack or yeah, fear being yourself, fear speaking your truth, right? And all of those things are is what we help um you to realize, if what we help people to realize on a deeper level through the perception or perspectives that we give and have, and the solutions that we offer that are always applicable if you wish, if you want, right?
When you talk about fear, when I wrote the book on fears, because I wanted to again give everyone a greater insight or some tools to be able to handle, because a lot of people are moving through it even now, even though that book came out years ago. But it's so incredibly valuable and helpful now, because when we understand that um, the fear is not is something that we typically make up, and if we understand that and then can use it in a way to move beyond, to get more freedom, which is why I said the other part of the book, Overcoming Fear, a guide to freedom, because see, that is ultimate freedom when you can move beyond your individual fear. And that's what is going to be so much so powerful for all of us now.
Oh, definitely. And I've moved through fear alone this year. How many times I just knew that I had to risk. I just knew
Mm,
I had to go. I just knew I had to leave the country. I just knew I had to move, right? And as you know, like I've been struggling in many ways, like and even the financial aspect, right? I mean, to come from one
mhm,
country to the other requires money. Don't know even what is happening in the new country that I'm going also requires money, but I just knew I had to do it for the experience, for the growth, for
mhm,
even for the excitement. And I felt joyful and I managed it in some way, shape, or form. And I do really see through, yes, I've risked many things. Yes, I was failing, though I learned out of every mistake that I made, though I learned out of every experience. And this learning, this piece of wisdom
mhm,
now helps me, right, to move forward, to develop even faster and being even more wise than I have been before, and things will just fall into place. And I wouldn't ever knew, I wouldn't have thought that I'm sitting where I'm sitting with the opportunities that I do have in front of me right now. I wouldn't have expected that, right? I knew
mhm,
somehow, and yes, but I didn't know the how. I knew that something is coming. I was sensing it for a very, very long time, and now I'm sitting here and take a deep breath and sit with it, right? Because this is yeah, just large massive shifts are happening in my life right now, and I know that in your life is the same happening or
mhm,
something similar in different ways. And I know that many human beings on this planet are currently moving through big shifts, very,
mhm.
very big shifts on and many levels.
I'm glad you said that because I want everyone to understand we're never done. As long as we're
We're never
alive, there's
done.
more that we can do
Bro.
because it's all an expansion of
Yeah.
consciousness. So there's always more. And so we've got to let go of the fact that we didn't do something before, we haven't gotten there because there's, and this is what we're going to talk about as well, because I've had so many different career shifts in my life and different things, and all of them weren't right. They weren't part of my soul path, but they did give me something. They did give me information and wisdom I could pass on to others. But every single person has that within them when they understand their unique journey, when they can accept who they are, who they've become through all of their experiences, because that's part of it. All of your experiences cause you to have this recognition of your, what I call your soul plan, your divine plan, whatever you're meant to do. Everyone has that. And it's so much fun. I'm just going to say this. My next book, and I've talked about this before because I knew that it was going to be it, but it's going to be the Your Life Operating Instructions, because that's the basis of all the philosophy, moving into a new world that we're creating, which is one made up of acceptance and abundance and happiness and joy and all of that. That's what's going on.
Yes, happiness and joy. So how can you bring more joy into your day? How can you become more happy? How can you create your own happiness in a way that is
Right.
just, oh, right, inspiring for yourself, right? How can you design your day in a way that you love living your day? So yeah, this is something that I've learned in the last years, and I wish to give it to people, right? I wish to inspire, I already do. And the shifts and the smiles of the people and the risks that they start taking and the way that they feel with taking the risks and the results then coming out, it's beautiful, right? And it's, yeah, there's no coincidence, there's everything divinely aligned always. So yeah, the workshop will be beautiful, and we invite the people who listen, we invite you now to join the workshop,
I'm gonna
right?
Stan, we're gonna have a landing page so people can hear more about it. But in the meantime, I'll add a link where they can register even right now on my Linktree, so they can find it there until the other page is up. So, but anyway, yes, it's gonna be fun.
That's it. It's going to be fun. So you will find it on Roger's Linktree. You will find the Linktree for the people on Facebook. Where can they find it? Or can they just sign up on the website as well?
It'll be up there probably tomorrow. But in the meantime, I'll just put I'll put the link in my Linktree. But so anywhere they find my profile, they can find that.
Cool. So we will
So
place the Linktree in the
yeah, but
comments.
we'll have the page soon when Stan gets back. We'll have the page too.
Yeah,
So
bro. Cool.
great.
Alrighty. So if
Thank
you
you,
listen
sir.
to it
This was
before we have
brilliant.
the landing page, yes, it was great. So we will place the Linktree link in the Facebook comments for the people to check it out.
Yes.
And yep, all the people on YouTube, you have Roger's information anyway. So check him out. The workshop is, and when is the workshop? I think we haven't mentioned it.
The 23rd, September 23rd.
September 23rd. So, yep, place this into your schedule. Keep it in mind. 23rd will be the workshop. And yeah, become yourself, right? There
Everything will
are,
be revealed.
life is simple. Life is
Yes.
simple and everything is going to be revealed. Exactly. This is it. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Great.
everyone who's
Thank you.
watching. We love you. Sending you all the love, respect, and yeah, spread your light and just keep shining. Peace.